What if I told you that according to the most documented psychic in history, you existed billions of years before your first physical birth? Edgar Cayce's 14,000 recorded trance readings don't just offer predictions, they reveal an origin story for your soul so vast, it makes every religion's creation myth feel like a children's bedtime story. Today, we're exploring exactly what Cayce claimed, when and how your soul was born from the mind of God, why you volunteered for the most daring spiritual experiment in cosmic history, and how you became caught in what Cayce called the material world prison. This isn't New Age speculation. This comes directly from Cayce's documented sessions where he said he accessed the Akashic records, the cosmic library of every soul's journey. According to Cayce, the moment your soul was created was so powerful it still echoes through the universe right now. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every choice you make is linked to that original spark when the Creator spoke you into being as an individualized expression of divine consciousness. But Cayce went further. He said souls weren't created one by one. They appeared in vast waves of emanation, massive bursts where millions of souls came into existence at once. Each was a unique facet of divine consciousness, designed to explore creation in ways the Creator couldn't experience alone. This is why, Cayce said, you sometimes feel profoundly different from everyone else, yet deeply connected to certain people. He described soul families, groups emanated from the same divine pattern. Those bonds explain why some strangers feel like instant kin, or why certain relationships feel karmically charged. Cayce's readings also describe your original state immediately after creation, a state so extraordinary it would look like magic to us now. He said souls could create entire worlds with thought, communicate instantly across infinite distances, even exist in multiple dimensions at once. That subtle inner feeling you're capable of more than your current life allows? According to Cayce, that's not ego, it's memory. It's your original divine abilities echoing through the limits of physical life, reminding you of what you are beneath this temporary disguise. And that's not all. You're going to want to hear this. Cayce taught that souls weren't made to sit in a static heaven. They were created as co-creators, partners with God in an expanding universe. The Creator invited each soul to explore consciousness through increasingly dense forms of reality, from pure spirit down into matter. This was what Cayce called the Great Experiment. Importantly, this wasn't a punishment or a trap, it was voluntary. Souls, including yours, chose to participate, thrilled at the chance to discover consciousness in its richest, most physical forms. But the Creator also warned, once immersed in dense matter, there was a risk of forgetting your divine nature. Think of an actor so deeply in character, they temporarily forget their own identity. Cayce said, the forgetting was necessary to make the experience authentic. Only by truly living as a separate being could you discover new aspects of God consciousness. Cayce's readings map a long journey into matter. Souls didn't jump straight into human bodies. First, they experimented with thought forms, projecting temporary vehicles of consciousness without full incarnation. Later, they created more permanent forms. Some projected into elemental forces, air, water, fire, earth, to understand nature's building blocks. Others explored mineral consciousness, imprinting themselves into crystals and stones. According to Cayce, this is why some people feel drawn to certain stones. They carry the vibrational memories of souls who once explored through them. Still others tried plant consciousness, experiencing life through trees and flowers to understand the force animating growth. This is why nature feels spiritually restorative. You're connecting with a consciousness stream close to your own. But as souls plunge deeper into dense forms, some lost conscious connection to their divine origin. They became earthbound, so identified with matter they forgot who they were. This, Cayce said, is how reincarnation began. Not as punishment, but as a rescue operation, letting souls gradually remember their true nature while still completing their experiment. Not every soul forgot. Some maintained full spiritual awareness, even in matter. These became teachers, healers, and guides. Volunteers incarnating to help their lost brothers and sisters remember. This is why certain teachings or teachers feel like déjà vu. You're not learning something new, but remembering something ancient. Cayce said souls from the same emanation wave often reincarnate together, taking on different roles: ally, challenger, parent, child, to help each other awaken. That person who instantly feels like family, or that difficult relationship teaching you deep lessons. In Cayce's framework, these are old companions from your original soul group. Cayce called the ultimate state bridging consciousness, being fully awake to your divine nature while functioning perfectly in physical reality. This is the true goal of the material world experiment. Completed souls have explored the full spectrum of consciousness, spirit, matter, and back to spirit, but now with expanded awareness. According to Cayce, our current era is a harvest phase, when many souls are finishing their experiment and moving toward bridging consciousness. This explains, he said, why spiritual awakening seems to be accelerating worldwide. We're not in a random moment of history. We're in the climax of the greatest spiritual adventure ever undertaken. Cayce emphasized that awakening isn't about escaping physical reality, but transforming it. Mastery of the material world means consciously directing spiritual energy through matter. Activities aligned with your divine pattern feel energizing. Those out of alignment feel draining. Your intuitive gifts, natural talents, and deepest passions aren't random. They're your original pattern breaking through. Every conversation can be an act of divine expression. Every creative project can be cosmic service. Every act of love is your divine nature remembering itself. This is what Cayce called practical spirituality, bringing God consciousness into everyday life rather than retreating from the world. In Cayce's view, the material world isn't separate from the spiritual. It's the spiritual realm expressing itself at a slower vibration. You're not a fallen being clawing your way back to heaven. You're a divine being who volunteered for the boldest experiment in consciousness, exploring matter to enrich the whole universe. You're not a victim of physical life, you're its author. You've been so absorbed in the masterpiece, you temporarily forgot you're the artist. Every moment of awakening is your divine nature reasserting itself, taking conscious control of creation. You're not a human having occasional spiritual experiences. You're a spiritual being having a temporary human experience as part of the greatest adventure in cosmic history. You were created to be a unique expression of infinite divine creativity, exploring consciousness through physical life, and bringing new understanding back to the whole. Every step of your journey is you remembering what you've always been. If this video expanded your understanding, let me know your thoughts below. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's exploring these mysteries too.